Welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Paul.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're going to be doing a new show called What Have You Been Watching? Which is just a conversation really between me and Patrick a little bit more rather than us to the camera. So it's a little bit more kind of mellow and a little bit more kind of like, we can bring up any kind of stuff that we've been watching.
So come, pull up a seat. We're going to actually have a chat with each other about what have we been watching lately. And what I've been watching lately is a little bit random. Because usually, obviously, Netflix has a huge part to play in everybody's lives because it's quite handy and it's there. But there was something Netflix didn't have that I wanted to see.
Okay.
And it was actually around the romantic Valentine's period.
Ooh.
But me being me, I couldn't just watch a normal romantic film. I had to ruin it for my partner, my beautiful wife, and go, "You've never seen Steve Martin's LA Story." Trust me, it's a love film. It is a romantic film, but it's also Steve Martin at peak Steve Martin time.
You were telling me about this like in the car, and I was wondering how that went.
Brilliantly, because and luckily I've met the most perfect woman in the world for me because she's just brilliant, but also she gets a lot of the same things I get. She really did enjoy the film, and at no point was she like, "There's nothing romantic about this," because it's a romantic film. It's, a street sign comes to life and tells a guy how to, solve his biggest problem, which is that he's lonely and needs love, and then helps them get together by controlling the weather at one point. Like, it's a trippy ass film.
That's really,
but funny.
How does that work? I don't know.
Yeah, if you haven't seen LA Story, do. It genuinely, you know what? It's dated, and it's like, it is a film made around 1990, I think, or 89, 91. I'm not too sure. So it is dated, and a lot of the references, it's very much trying to make a joke about LA. So they're in rush hour traffic, and he turns to her, "Oh my God, rush hour after blah blah blah, get the gun," and people just start randomly shooting each other. There's a little bit of slapstick random stuff.
Oh yeah, well that's Steve Martin as well. So
exactly,
it's kind of a normal thing.
Normal Steve Martin, normal for Steve Martin, weird for the rest of the world.
Yeah,
but the love story that's intertwined in it is actually really, really sweet.
I must watch it.
Yeah,
I haven't actually seen that in quite a while. Actually, no, I haven't seen it at all. Actually, now that I think about it,
it's probably one of those films you saw pieces of because it would have been on TV sporadically, and it wouldn't really have been in main rotation. So a lot of people are like, "I think I've seen a bit," and usually you have, just not at all.
Yeah.
So it's not Three Amigos. I didn't. Well, for anybody who's thinking that it's just a crazy comedy, no, it's still a love story. But no, it's good. It's good.
Like, I've been watching. I rewatched Interstellar recently.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched that for a long. I rewatched it close to after seeing it in the cinema. How did that feel for you?
It was interesting. There's a lot of boring parts in that film. Like not like, I guess it's ruined because you're not in the cinema.
The cinema did help that movie quite a lot, didn't it?
Yeah,
really did.
You alright?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fixing my earphones. Okay. That wasn't you. That was me fixing my ears.
Just making sure, because this is a new setup. I'm making sure that I'm not destroying Patrick's ears.
See, and also part of this is we're not usually staring right at each other.
Yeah,
so I think like we're picking up weird signals from each other. It's like, did I say something wrong? No, I have to fart. That's all that's happening.
That went on for too long. So, which is I guess it's more of a film that plays itself up more to
big screen.
A lot more big screen stuff. So there's a lot of moments in it that I was just like, it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit long, kind of thing. And also, I guess my home cinema system is not as kind of good as the as the cinema kind of saying. So
I know people think that because we have this massive YouTube platform that we're worth millions and have home theater systems. Yeah, it's basically still 20-inch TVs with VHS.
Yeah, it was pretty much just me on my computer with my headphone, like with my headset on, just listening. So it was a good film though.
What made you go back and watch it, just out of curiosity?
On YouTube, funny enough, I saw one of the clips.
Oh, yeah, that's happened to me. Was it one of Tars or Spars or...
No, I do really enjoy that, but it's the moment where Michael Caine's character is explaining the death. Is it Michael Caine?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Explaining like the death of the plants and everything like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, and because he's always great. That probably would have triggered me to go and watch it again, too.
Yeah, like it's just that whole scene where he's just talking about the missions and everything, and then eventually he goes, "They chose you," and then, Michael... or McConaughey, who is just like, who's they, and he goes, if you have to do the mission if you want to know more stuff. So after that, I just kind of got back on. I was just like, I enjoyed that film. I'm gonna go have a look at it again.
Like I'd be into giving it a rewatch, even just after talking about it. Sometimes, do you ever have this, and it's on topic, but it's slightly different? Do you ever see something in a YouTube video, or you're watching something, somebody takes the piss out of a film or a part in a film?
Yeah.
Like particularly for Interstellar, it's Murph, his bookcase screaming moment. So many people have parodied that.
Yeah.
That sometimes I'll watch something where somebody's doing parody, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was ridiculous. Let's watch the rest of that film now, because I've actually watched more films because somebody's taking the piss, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was terrible. But was the rest of the film any good? I must go back and watch.
Yeah, I think I have. I think the other parts that I've seen is like when people bring old films that I've watched before in a weird like context, or they're talking about it like going like, do you know what I haven't seen in a while kind of thing, and I'm just like, I haven't seen that in a while either, like Waterworld or Postman. The Postman,
Never actually saw
it. Well, it's a 3-hour long film about postmen, so
that's why I never actually saw it.
It's an interesting film, and if you've gotten through Waterworld, then you're definitely going to get through.
I've seen Waterworld about 12 times, and I'm not sure why.
It's because they do such a great build of the world and stuff. It went fucking terribly over budget.
Yeah, and I think it's because it was such a film of myth and lore and legend. Because of its massive over budgetness, it kind of just made it into everybody's consciousness. So when it's on, you're like, oh yeah, and you can see how they spent all the money and messed it up. And Dennis Hopper, wow, what a waste of Dennis Hopper this is. Wow. It's a weird one. Actually, outside of movies, I know there's something that we've both been watching, but you've made it to the end and I have not, and that's the Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Yeah. That's just come up on Netflix. It's based on an old comic.
Yeah, so. and I'm in it and into it. So I'm enjoying it, but I have real misgivings as to how it's going to end.
You're like,
I'm worried that it's going to crap its pants and really annoy me.
Because you're 3 episodes away from the end, right?
3-4 episodes. I think.
Yeah. See, that was the thing, is because you told me that you were watching it, so, and I seen the ads for it, so I was just like, I'll give it a go. So I watched the first episode, and I was just like, this reminds me of a comic book that I read, and I don't remember much about it. And then I don't know what it was. I blitzed it to Monday. Yeah. On Monday, I just watched the entire thing.
Yeah, which is weird because usually that's the way I would do it. Like, we would never take more than a couple of nights to watch that amount of stuff. But it's just been one of those crazy weeks where we got through 4, then through 2 more, and then 3 days passed, and we got 1 more done. So I think part of my problem with it right now is actually I'm not watching it in my usual way of watching a Netflix show, which is kind of taking me in and out of it, which I regret. I am taking some of the characters, like the Luther on the moon moment.
Space Boy.
Yeah, it worked for me. It worked for me as a when they're introducing everybody, I was like,
yeah,
I could dig this.
It's an interesting kind of like introduction to a character. It's just like, because the way that they do it as well, he's just watering plants and then he steps outside. Yeah, so it's a good way.
And his ridiculous size is comical way that you kind of you see that and you're introduced to that over that first 2 episodes. It's like, wow, that's just funny looking now.
It is,
and then it doesn't become, because you become used to it, and then because it becomes part of the story, it becomes less for a comedy value.
Interesting enough, in the comic book, that's not how it happened.
Oh,
he gets attacked by Martian gorillas, and his head gets transferred onto a robotic gorilla body thing.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say I can see why they didn't go with that. I will say one other thing though. Ellen Page is maybe not. I don't know. For me, I don't know if she's carrying enough of her part of the story for me yet. But maybe I'm going to see more.
I think it's.
Tell me nothing.
No, I think it's one of those things where it's like I think the writing has slightly let her down in her character.
Well, yeah, maybe that's it.
Actually. And it's just there's because her character in the comic book is interesting as well. Like, it's kind of like she's very much the character that's in the comic book a bit, as far as I remember. But yeah, I don't think the screenwriters have given enough kind of stuff to it.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
so that's kind of what I've been watching.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to in the next little while? Because I've got one thing that I'm hoping to see sooner rather than later. The Irish film The Hole in the Ground.
Oh yeah.
Or as I accidentally called it, The Hole at the Back. But The Hole in the Ground, it looks like an amazing Irish horror film. So
I'm looking for the last 3 episodes of Punisher that I fucking left behind. I know.
We'll talk off camera. God.
Well, I guess. So this has been what have you been watching? Which goes if you liked us, comment down below if you liked it and stuff like that. We could do a little bit more of it.
Yeah, we're gonna throw these in now and again just so that we can catch up with each other from a what have you been watching point of view.
Yeah, or if you didn't like it at all, we'll just kill this show.
Yeah. So like, comment, subscribe, and I've been Patrick.
And I've been Paul.
We'll catch you next time. We've been Hear Us Out.
Yeah. See you later.